Mid-afternoon live on a Friday. I'm supposed to do it at 5, but I want to go to the PARK. I can't say the whole word because Leo knows what the word means. And it's very nice out with the sun out, so instead of waiting till then, I'm going to do this now. But hi, everybody that's joining. We're doing our Manifesting Friday at a random time today. I know, but it's really nice out, and I really want to get outside in the outdoors because my tan is fading and it needs to not be. And I'm a worshiper of the sun. Good afternoon. So there's two quotes that, not quotes. One is like just about the subconscious mind, and the other one is about, oh yes, the hot sun, yes. So first we'll talk about my post that I posted last night, where someone was speaking about the superconscious mind, which is our subconscious mind, our God mind, whatever you want to call it. That it's been spoken about for 5,000 years, right? Lee, I'm going to come down in mid-June. I'll message you. So talking about the superconscious mind, and that it's been spoken about for 5,000 years because of how powerful it is, how powerful our mind actually really is, that we could do anything with it. That when we give our mind, our superconscious mind, an idea, no matter how far away from it we are, write it down. He was saying, write this thought out very clearly. What you want to do, what you want to manifest, write it out with complete clarity. And this is the other thing that many people are afraid to do. We're afraid to really ask for the things that we want because we're afraid we're never going to get it. So even if it's, I want to have a career where I make $100 million, no matter how outlandish it might seem to you, there's nothing that is not within our reach. Unless we say in our mind, yeah, right, I could never have that. Which most of us do because that's the way that we're programmed. Probably 90% of people are programmed with negative programming. So as long as you don't believe that you can have something, you'll never have it. You'll never have it, right? So he was saying, write down what it is exactly that you want. Write it down. I wrote down 5 things. I told you, many of you this many times. I wrote down 5 things, no matter how big they were, I wrote them down. Within a year, I had one of them. And I'm right now working on another one of them. That's a pretty big project, but I was very clear on what I wanted. I even have a business plan for this one really big thing. Will it cost millions of dollars to execute this? Yes. I don't ever think of that. I just see the end and I'm like, well, why wouldn't I be able to have that? Your words are your wand. Your words are your wand. Yeah, right. I could never have that. Your words are your wand. Magic. No, you can't ever have that. Oh my God, it's so easy to have this multi-million-dollar business. Your words are your wand. There it is. Poof. So the guy in the video that I posted last night was saying, just write something down very clearly of what you want. And he was talking about money specifically, that you want X amount of dollars. Say you're currently like nowhere near that. Maybe you're even close to being broke. If you keep that idea in your mind, if you think about it before you go to sleep, I already have this. I'm already living the life as if I have X amount of dollars. Our superconscious mind, our God mind, has no choice but to literally allow those two opposing ideas to meet and come to fruition. So this is, I have no money. This is, I have all the money, but we're changing our mindset to, I have X amount of dollars, or I have this thriving business, or whatever it is, in a monetary fashion. And in your mind, you're switching over to this mindset. You're switching over to this state that I am already this person with this successful business, with this amount of money. So your superconscious has to bridge the gap from being broke to being wealthy, bridging the gap. And it's not any of our business because people are like, well, how can that possibly happen? How? I only have $5 in my bank account. How could this possibly happen? If you believe it, if you shift your mindset to that of wealth, to that of abundance, your entire reality has no choice but to shift with you. It's like you buy a new car. Like you're not still driving the old car, you're driving the new car. So it's the same thing with your mentality. If you want to manifest a car even, while you're in this old car, you see yourself driving whatever car it is and you imagine it. Not with your eyes closed, obviously. But you are becoming this new state of mind. When you fully embody a new state of mind, it's like an actor or an actress. And I've been there because I was an actress. When you are taking on the role of a character, you're imagining that you are that. And I can give you a really good example is I played a mother that lost a child to a drug overdose. And I had to film the funeral scene in a church. That was probably one of the hardest days of my life, to become this character where I had to imagine. I had to cry uncontrollably for hours that day while we were filming. Crying. You are embodying the feelings and emotions as an actress of a person that just lost a child to a drug addiction. The night before, a mother came over to warn my character that her son was doing drugs or they were doing drugs together. And I said, no, not my son. That night, my husband and I went out to dinner and my son overdosed. So I had to play a mother that felt that. It was the worst day of my life. But this is what manifestation is. It's putting on a character. You are not what you are yet, right? So you're putting on this character. You're playing the character of being a millionaire. You're playing the character of someone that has that really successful business. So when I was in that role playing a mother that lost her child, I had to become that. I wasn't really that, but I had to become that. So as you are manifesting, that is what it is. You are putting on or playing the role of something that you already have. What would it feel like if I had the money that I wanted? What would it feel like if I had the house that I wanted to live in? What would it feel like if I had that relationship that I want to be in? What is it like? Play the character. Fake it till you make it. These are all things that people do to manifest the reality that they want. Because the subconscious or the superconscious or your God mind does not understand anything other than present. Because a lot of people will ask, okay, well, can I say, I will be rich? I will have this relationship. That's a future tense. Your superconscious mind will say, okay, that's future. So 30 years from now, I'll give you the money that you want. Is it cool if it's 10 years from now that you get that relationship? Your superconscious mind understands now. I have this shit now. It's not about the future. I have it right now. So then again, your superconscious has to, Leonardo, don't mind, has to bridge the gap from one thing to the other, and that's called the bridge of incidence. Your bridge of incidence from your current reality to your future reality is none of your damn business. There's 1,025 ways that you can get to the same destination. And however the universe decides to play that into your reality, that's the way that it goes. It doesn't matter. Bubby, come sit with mama. Come sit with mama. So when you are tapping into a different energy, so you're telling me I'll be spending the long holiday weekend at my Hamptons house. In your mind, yeah, until you feel it real enough that it comes into pass. What people don't understand, because we were never taught this, is that when we assume a state of being, when we assume that state and we don't allow ourselves to go back to what Neville Goddard called the old man. The old man is the man with the old story. Are you going to be the old man, or are you going to continue into your new state of being? Just because you don't see it in your current reality, in even 3 months from now, doesn't mean that it's not happening. If you stay in that assumption that I have the things that I want, it will happen. And I've spoken about robotic affirming. Robotic affirming is some powerful shit. If you have your affirmation of what you want, you just say it over and over again all day long when you're walking the dog, when you're taking out the trash, when you're making a bed, when you're doing whatever you're doing, if you're driving, repeat that affirmation over and over again. I manifested something with robotic affirming that I was like, this is fucking impossible. This is not going to happen. I manifested with robotic affirming in a day and a half. And when it happened, I was like, oh, that's crazy. Because I really didn't, like, I thought that this was impossible. And again, that's my own, I'm blocking myself. But I was like, I just started doing the robotic affirming. So I'm like, let me see if this works. Because I watched a million videos on robotic affirming. And I'm like, all right, let's try it. I am just going to do this. I'm going to be true. Even if I don't think it's going to happen, I'm just going to do this robotic affirming and see what happens. And when I got what I asked for, I almost shit myself because I was like, okay, this works. In a day and a half. This is something I'm like, okay, maybe it'll take a month or something like that. Day and a half. And I was like, okay, well, that's a lesson learned there for myself. And so it is done. And so it is. Yeah. No fake until you make it. I get the concept. Yeah, fake until you make it. You are at its core. It does not work when consciousness is aware it's faking. Let me see. Fake until you make it. Well, I guess I don't mean it in literal sense of fake until you make it, but I'm just saying, like, we're putting on this costume or this character until it feels real. Right? Like, I had to put on this costume of a mother, of a grieving mother. And I had to go through a whole process of how I was going to get there because I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, like, this is going to be so hard. But I wanted the challenge of it. But I didn't know, I had to go through imagining horrible things to get to the point of grief, right? So I was putting on that role. Yes, the theta brainwave frequency is the best time to manifest because it is when our subconscious mind is most impressionable. When we're in theta brainwave frequency, that is as we're falling asleep or as we're waking up. So those are the two best times to manifest. But again, it's like you're putting on a role until you're wearing it so comfortably that it feels, that's the law of assumption. You're not going to just wake up and be like, I'm a millionaire now. It feels great. Like, you're not going to do that. You literally have to slip into this, right? What does it feel like? What you have to, like, think about what it would really feel like. And that doesn't happen just because you're thinking it all of a sudden. You're like, oh yeah, this is real. Like, this takes time to follow. Like, the law of assumption takes time because you're literally changing from one state of consciousness that you've been using and wearing your entire life to something else. If your whole life you had a poverty mindset, it's not that easy to one day just wake up and say, I'm wealthy and I'm a millionaire and I have this beautiful house and I can see it already. Like, it just isn't. Unless you don't have a deep attachment to something, it's much easier to manifest. But when it comes to manifesting wealth and you've had a poverty mindset for a really long time, it's not going to be that easy. You're not just going to wake up and be like, I feel like a millionaire. It's just not that easy. It's putting on the costume. It's reading your lines. What are your lines going to be? Your lines are going to be your affirmations, right? So what is your affirmation? That I have this business and I'm making X amount of dollars a day. Like, I'm down to the dollar amount that I want to make per day. So I know exactly what I'm asking for. I know exactly what I need to tap into. Right? And when we don't have resistance to things, that's when they manifest easier. But for many that have had a poverty mindset for such a long time, like I did for so long, it was so hard for me to imagine these things. But again, I had to put the costume on every day. I had to do the affirmations. I had to do the visualizations. And eventually it just felt more natural to me. I manifested the apartment that I was in like a day. I manifested the store where I was going to buy all this shit in like a half hour. Because there's this place called Donovan's, I think that's what it's called, in El Paso, Texas. And it was all this vintage stuff. Like, they had all these neon signs, like old beer things and just like memorabilia. They had all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I wish that they just had this store here. And I just looked, I don't remember what the hell I looked up, but there the store was. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then I got all this stuff in my apartment is from this one estate sale place. So when we don't have attachment to something, we can manifest a lot faster, right? Sound is really low. Is it low for anybody else? I just want to see if I missed any of the comments. Yeah, it's the link in my bio for patches. Okay, but someone said they could use their imagination for hours. And when I like to do guided meditations, because when I do guided meditations, I literally go. And then when I wake up, I'm like, I was literally just there. And it's so powerful because wherever you are in your meditation, and if it's with another person, that person I can guarantee is going to text you or call you within an hour of you having done this meditation. Because we are telepathically communicating in a different realm than the one that we're in right now. Okay, good. So if you want to have that experience in a different reality or dimension, do a guided meditation, whether it's about money, whether it's about anything, relationships, problems, anything. There's so many guided meditations that like you will literally feel like you just experienced it. And that's what manifestation is feeling it real. So that when you do these meditations, the point of the meditations is when you do them and you feel it real, you can take that experience with you for the rest of your day. Why is it so powerful? Because your subconscious, your superconscious, your God mind doesn't know if you've actually had the experience or you imagined it. So if you're doing those meditations and you take that feeling with you, your mind thinks that you already experienced this. So you're tapping in or becoming that energetic match to what it is that you're imagining because your subconscious thinks you already experienced it. But if you do these meditations and you feel so good and you feel amazing, then you wake up and you're like, oh, it's never going to fucking happen. You just totally ruined that entire experience with your negative bullshit. Then you stay on the frequency that you're on before you even did the meditation. So that's how mastering your mind will change your life because you get to tap into the frequency that you want. And you're like, I'm going to stay here. Like, I feel good. Right? I used to listen to 8-hour sleep meditations, but I started to worry that the guy was saying something weird to me when I was asleep. I never had 8 hours awake to listen. Yeah, but there's no need to put negativity into those things. I listen to the meditations every night. Every night last night I had Tibetan sound bowls on because I was like a nut yesterday. I had the worst migraine of my lifetime yesterday, so I wanted to put something on that was like a healing thing, and it just works for me. If you don't trust it, there's plenty of other methods that you can use other than doing 8-hour meditation, like sleep meditation things. Theta healing with Tiffany was amazing, and that's really amazing for reprogramming the subconscious mind very, very quickly. My sister did a session with her last week, which was I think a week or two later than I did with her, and I said, listen, she's going to tell you things that you don't even remember have ever happened to you or lodged in different parts of your body. So bringing up those energies to the surface and allowing them to be released creates more room for all the things that you want. So that's why it's so important to do this work, if you want to, is so that you can create space for the things that you really need, that you really want to tap into. Because everything that we already want already exists. Or everything that we want already exists, rather. It's just about tapping into that frequency, that energy field. And we do it through meditation. We do it through affirmations. We do it through repetitive thinking and trying to cancel out some negative thoughts. And sometimes I think all of us need extra help. I've done hypnosis. I've done EMDR therapy. I've done Psych K. I've done muscle testing. I don't even remember half the shit I did because I've literally tried everything, right? Tiffany's profile. Shit, let me see. Let's see if it comes up. Yes, there she is. She's gonna be like, why are you, oh, bud, you come see with mama? I'm telling you right now, when you book the session with Tiffany, be prepared to shit yourself in the best way possible. Sorry, I'm just saying. Okay. I pinned her. She'll probably come in. I listened to Abraham Hicks Into the Vortex Sleep Meditation Loop for 3 years nightly. I love it. I listen to sleep meditation every night too. For me, it is necessary to help shift my limiting beliefs. Shifts are happening. And they do happen. Like, that's the thing. And especially if you just don't feel like actively doing it, you can do it in your sleep and you're not even doing anything. You're just listening to the healing frequencies. You're listening to the affirmations if you're listening to affirmation tapes. And it's literally programming your mind while you're sleeping, so you're not doing anything. You just wake up and you start to shift. You start to shift. And you start to shift. So if you want to shift your reality, but you really don't feel like doing the work sitting here, listen to frequencies. Just put them on at night. Your subconscious is always listening. That's why we talk about not ever keeping the TV on while you're asleep. Do you want that trash to be programming your mind while you're asleep? I don't think so. Wait, before I even get to the book, I wanted to talk about this other quote. I was watching an interview with Jaguar Wright. I think is her name, right? The one that's been talking about a lot of the Hollywood happenings. And she was telling a story about her father. What frequencies, it depends on what you want to heal. If you're like doing emotional healing, or you want to attract love, or you want to attract money, there's different frequencies for everything. Is this an open forum where I can ask about people you were helping promote before? Can you ask that question again, but just like what you're actually trying to ask? Who even watches TV? I don't. My TV's been unplugged for 3 years. If I turn it on, it would say, you want English or Spanish? Okay, so the quote that I was listening to on this podcast, and she was talking about her father, who I believe she said was a drug dealer, and he said to her, as long as you're chasing after money, you're always going to have to run after it. You need to become money. I was like, just listening to it. You need to become money. And I'm like, that's basically what I've done my whole life, is I became money. How? I never really had a job that I had to go to and clock in and whatever. When I was really, really young, I did. But after high school and stuff like that, like, I didn't have a job. Let's just tell my sister that I am lively. So, becoming money, what does it mean? So, with the knowledge that I've acquired, with my skill set, I became money because people will come to hire me for what they needed. Whether it was dance, whether it was acting, whether it was hair and makeup, healing stuff, holistic wellness. I became money. Like, what do I have to offer that I can be paid for? Right? So instead of like going after things and chasing money, you become money. What skills do I have that I can offer to the world that I can also be energetically compensated through money with? Right? I'm going to beat her. Can you guys tag my sister? Because she just keeps texting me and thinking, I don't know what. Think and Grow Rich. I have that book in my piles down there. Currency is a current, a flow of oneself. I love that. Thanks, Kat. Like, what are you doing? So I just love that quote, because when you think about that, becoming money, like even people that are farmers or something like that, like you become money. People need you for what you have to offer. Instead of you going and having to get a job somewhere else, what is it that you offer? And that's a big part of manifestation is like, what are your dreams and desires? When I say people are too afraid to ask for what they want because they don't believe they can ever have them, that's also crushing your own dreams and your own reality, because you don't believe that what God gave you as a talent or as a soul mission is good enough to offer the world. So when you don't believe in your soul's mission, when you don't believe that you're good enough to for what you have to offer, you're always going to be chasing after money, trying to get a job from someone else hiring you, someone else telling you when you can go to the bathroom, someone else telling you when you can go on vacation. Didn't Rockefeller say that he wanted to create a world of, what was the quote? He didn't want to create a world of leaders, he wanted to create a world of workers, something along those lines. That's the school system, an indoctrination camp, indoctrinating people to just be good little soldiers, to fall in line, to never have dreams, to just do what they're told. They give us 5 subjects. Like, here, pick one of these subjects and you can, excel in that in your life. There's a million different things that we can choose to do because we all have dreams to do different things, but not everyone goes after them. Most people don't go after their dreams. And then they're 78 and 85 years old and they're like, man, I wish I would have done that. So we could either go and live our lives for someone else and let them decide how much money we can make, or we can actually become the money. Yeah, I had David on a long time ago. I haven't talked to him, though, in a very, very, very long time. So you become the money. That's like the best. That's to me, that's what freedom is. I become the money and I decide if I want to work today. I decide if I want to go here. I decide if I want to travel. I decide what I want because I become the money. I don't need to ask my boss to give me a raise, right? I don't need to work for an hourly pay. If you become the money yourself, you get to do whatever you want. You have to believe that you can have it. You have to believe that you're worthy of receiving the amount of money that you've always desired to have. Be like water, my friends. You flow like water. You get this quote from 16 Millionaire Mind. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. And there are many people that are just stuck in a mentality where they know everything while knowing nothing. What they don't know, what they don't know. That's such a good quote, is when a person doesn't know what they don't know. And I know so many people who don't know what the hell they don't know. And you're like, how could you put a product out like this? Or how could you put a film out like this without saying, like, this doesn't really look great? They don't know what they don't know. I'm going through this process right now, creating my own business. Thank you. Kat, see it in your mind that it's already successful and it's done. It is just constantly relearning. My sister's still texting me like, should she not get everybody's tags? Special ed teacher here. My students have heightened senses, but school doesn't support their natural abilities. Wasting time trying to make everyone normal. I shut the door and do what I want. I love it. We need more teachers like that. That do their own thing. Create their own reality for these kids. Because, thank you, Kat. The schooling system has shut down the level of creativity, and we're not allowed to be creative in school. You have to do X, Y, and Z, and you stay in this box and you don't go outside of it. School system is no different than the prison system. Do what you're told. That's it. Do what you're told. You sit in your seat until I tell you can get up. Children have so many issues now because even when we were younger, but it's even worse than now. There's no creative outlet. And then you see kids like this all day long. They have no connection, bonding. Like when we were younger, we were outside all day. We weren't in the house. We were with our friends. We were playing with our friends. We were having imaginary concerts. We were doing all kinds of shit. But I see when someone says gateway experience, I have to stop everything that I'm doing and read about it. 55515 for pain of incident. Okay, so there's the Gravobi codes. Like there's so many things in this reality that we're not told. I teach self-love workshops for kids. This is great. Whoever's in here today, damn. I saw that so clearly 20 years working in the education system. So after our years of being indoctrinated, it's literally, hi Jen, I'm in here. It's literally reprogrammed. It's not 5 o'clock, I know, because I want to take him to the PARK. And it was going to interfere with my live time. He just ate his breakfast, by the way. A little late. I forgot what I was saying because my sister interrupted me now. Oh, it's about children indoctrination. Let's just go back to Jen. This is what you're reading right now. I left it 3 years ago, and wow, what a shift. Okay. So, Jen, I've been reading this book for a long time, actually. Be careful, my dog ended up learning to spell park and walk. That's where we're at with this one. We have to spell out everything. And he's starting to know. Mare, you should definitely do that. Okay. So I introduce people to what I call the 3 most dangerous words in the English language. They are, I know that. So how do you know if you know something? Simple. If you live it, you know it. Otherwise, you heard about it, you read about it, or you talk about it, but you don't know it. Put bluntly, if you're not really rich and really happy, there's a good chance you still have some things to learn about money, success, and life. And there's a lot of people that don't want to learn. He is on a schedule with you. As I explained at the beginning of this book, during my broke days, I was fortunate to get some advice from a multimillionaire friend who had some compassion for my plight. He said to me, Harb, if you're not as successful as you'd like to be, there's something you don't know. Fortunately, I took his suggestion to heart and went from being a know-it-all to a learn-it-all. From that moment on, everything changed. Poor people often trying to prove that they're right. They put on a mask as if they got it all figured out and it's just some stroke of bad luck or temporary glitch in the universe that has them broke or struggling. One of my more famous lines is, you can be right or you can be rich, but you can't be both. You can be right or you can be rich, but you can't be both. Being right means having to hold on to your ways of thinking and being. Okay, this is true. I'm doing great. Jen, maybe our fan that wrote you a DM the other day is in here. Learning. So we, and I'm saying we collectively, know too many people that just know everything. They don't want to learn anything. They don't want to know anything. They just know everything. Oh, Sarah. Maybe she's in here learning a few things. Or maybe she's just too busy being right. Okay. There's a saying that makes perfect sense here. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. And that makes so much sense in the manifestation world. If you keep doing the same things that you've always done, you'll always get the same things. It's like insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. It's not Think and Grow Rich. It's the secret to the secret to the millionaire mind. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you want to have change in your life and you want to begin to tap into the magic of manifestation, you have to start to think differently. You can't think the same thing and think that you're going to suddenly be successful. Oh, I just have bad luck. There's no such thing as bad luck. The only bad luck you have is the fact that you think that you have bad luck. That's what's bad luck. You can turn things around today or tomorrow if you don't feel like doing it today. But it's changing your mindset. Like, this is not a superpower. It's not something outside of you that's just like, oh my God, like I have to acquire this superpower. Like, it takes work to get it and shift to it. But every single person has this superpower. Because whether you like it or not, you're manifesting 24/7. So if your life is a shithole, it's because you manifested it. It's because of what you think of every minute of the day. If you think my life is shitty, I'm never going to do anything, my family is poor, so I'm going to be poor, that's the way that your life is going to unfold. But if you start to change your mindset and say, wow, I'm just so lucky to have all the things that I have already. I don't have all the things that I want, but I feel so lucky that I have plants. I feel so lucky that I have a home to live in. Find some of the things that you are grateful for so that your universe, not the universe, but your universe, can tap into that. The universe is not out there. The universe is in here. Everything that we've been taught about this matrix system is a lie. God is out there. Heaven is out there. What you want is out there. Change that person out there. Nothing is outside of us. Pray to Jesus. Pray to whomever, Buddha, out there. Nobody's out there listening. Your universe is in here. If you close your eyes and imagine what space looks like, the reason why you can see it is because your consciousness is never ending. It does not end. So everything that you want in that universe is not out there in the stars and the space and the blackness. It's created in here. And then eventually it is projected out there. And then you see it. You don't go and find it in the universe out there. You find it in the universe here. Just like all the quotes of Neville Goddard when he quotes the Bible. He quotes Jesus. That you can do all the things that I can do and way more than I've ever done. What did he do? He tapped into frequencies. Where did he go? He didn't go out there to go tap into the frequencies and go find them. Jesus didn't go looking behind trees and under dirt to go find a frequency. He became it. The people that attained the level of enlightenment didn't go somewhere up high to go and grab enlightenment, to create miracles. They became enlightened from the inside out. When you get to that level of enlightenment, when you are just pure magic, you didn't go somewhere to get it. You didn't go and buy it at the dollar store. You became it. Jesus performed miracles because he became magic. When your consciousness reaches a level so high, you can literally just tap into the things that you want. You don't go pick a frequency off of a tree and say, oh, I think I want to be this frequency today. One doesn't go find themselves. The only place you go is inside. So if you don't have the things that you want, if you don't have the amount of abundance that you would like or prefer, the only reason you don't have it is because you don't believe you're worthy of it. You don't believe that you can have it. It's not because the person at your job just refuses to give you a raise. The person at your job refuses to give you a raise because you don't believe that you even deserve it. And so your person that that hires you, your friggin' whatever he is, the owner, your boss, he's reflecting what you believe about yourself to be true. It's not on purpose, but that person is reflecting what you believe to be true about yourself. Every person, I couldn't think of the fucking word. Every person in our life is reflecting our beliefs about ourselves. That's it. So if you have shitty circumstances at your job, if you have shitty circumstances with money, if you have shitty circumstances about your home, your car, your relationship, it is just reflecting you. If something's always wrong with your house, a pipe is always broken, or the window doesn't work right, the rain gets in, your home is a reflection of what you believe to be true about yourself. I am not worthy of safety. I'm not worthy of having security. I'm not worthy of nice things. I don't deserve to have good things. If you have a car that's always breaking down, it needs the oil, and the oil's leaking, and you have a flat tire, and the window doesn't go down, and there's shit everywhere in your car, that is a reflection of you. It is reflecting you, what you believe about yourself to be true. I don't deserve nice things. I don't feel safe. As within, so without. Your whole entire existence is reflecting what you believe about yourself to be true. Oh, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, she's such a bitch to me. He's such an asshole. He's always flirting with other girls. She's always doing this. You want to blame somebody else. They are reflecting back to you what you believe to be true about yourself. I am not worthy of love. I am not worthy of security. I am not worthy of being attended to. I am not chosen. I am always abandoned. I am not loved. I am not pretty enough. I am not worthy enough. We could go on and on and on. Big dick energy. Said that part out loud. Everything in your life is just a reflection of what you believe about yourself. So if you have problems with money, since Fridays we generally talk about abundance, if you have problems with money, it is a programming from your caretakers or whoever brought you up, your parents, and it is your self-concept. What is your concept of yourself? I shouldn't have nice things. Money is hard to make. I have to work really, really hard to make money. Remember, words are spells too. In the beginning of this, I said your word is your wand. Who was that? Florence Scovel Shinn that said that? Your words are your wand. So if you believe all those bad things about money, right? That, you saw your father working his ass off for money, so you believe that that's the way, and he made hardly any money. That's what you believe about money to be true. If you believe money comes to me so easily, you'll never have problems with money. If your mother, father, grandparents, whomever taught you great things about money, money won't be an issue. But if most people grow up with a poverty mindset, including myself, it's interesting because my mother never had a poverty mindset, but my father does. My mother believes she's entitled to everything, so she gets whatever she wants. That is her belief, that she gets whatever she wants, so she does. My dad had more of a greaseball mentality. Why are you always spending all this money? Why are you paying all that money for a car? Why you gotta, why? How are you crazy paying all that money for rent? Two opposites. But one thing that was the same is they always fought over money. So me and my brother, my sister always listened to them fighting about money. So that was deeply ingrained and programmed that money is hard to get, money is hard to come by, there's never enough, right? How am I supposed to pay for this myself? Ask your father, ask your mother. There was never the thoughts of abundance in our upbringing. So therefore, there was a lot to be reprogrammed around my thoughts of money. And it took a lot longer than I would have liked to really change that. But it's not impossible to change. It just takes work. And some people would rather just be a victim to the reality and say, oh, complain, my business is doing horrible, I'm probably going to have to close in a couple years, or whatever your story is about money and abundance. Some people would just rather live because it's easier for them to just complain and be a victim than to clean up their shit and become a different version of themselves. People that collect things have little faith. What do you mean by that? through that suffering, you gain that wisdom, though. No, and that's the truth. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. Like, I just know that it was part of my journey to see how change is possible. Because many people just don't believe, like, that it's worth it to really work on yourself to change. But I didn't want to continue to be a person that had to just, like, make sure that I had this amount of jobs per week so that I could just pay my bills and then have just enough money for food. Like, I lived like that as a dancer. So all these things, all the choices that I made in my life because of the thoughts I had about money led me to be a dancer that made no money, that worked really, really hard. I believed that I had to work hard and be in pain all the time to make money. Like, that was a belief that I had, is that if I wasn't in pain, I wasn't working hard enough. This is all like ego things and stuff like that. But once you understand, like, the energy of money, and like what we talked about earlier in this live is becoming money. Becoming money so that you don't have to go out and work somewhere for it. People come to you for the skill set that you have, and you become money, right? How long have I been on here for? Let's see. Okay, 46 minutes. So, I know I said I was coming on at 5 o'clock, but I got some stuff to do when the sun's out. I have to go and worship the sun. So, I intended this was helpful. I will repost this live. I'm usually on in the mornings, and my last couple of Fridays I have not been on in the mornings. But I do like this hour because I have different people that come on. So I might, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe keep it at the afternoon hour, even though it was supposed to be 5. So, yeah, we're gonna go to the PARK. We gotta call him back, and let him know that I am live really quickly. So, I hope that everybody gets in the sun this weekend. That's what I really hope, because the sun is healing. But have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions about anything, please send me a DM. Oh, yes. I'm glad, Jen. I'm glad that you hopped in. I will see you on Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we will learn more about manifesting our greatest reality, because if we don't do the work, if we don't raise our frequency, we can never change this planet. So, I'll see you guys on Monday morning. Adios.